Hey, everybody. Welcome to Life with Marlene. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank y'all so much for coming over. It's another chit chat. It's a chit chat live today. Thank everybody for their support here on Life with Marlene. I appreciate y'all for being my gems of this channel. We got a goal right now. I just looked at my analytics a few hours ago and I see we're like 20 hours away from 2,000 hours watch time. So I'm almost at the halfway point for my full monetization. Got about 1,000 hours away from getting the partial monetization. So thank y'all so much. I couldn't do it without you all. Hey, Lisa. How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Joshua. How's everybody doing? Good to see you all. Appreciate your support. So let me get to this topic today. Let's see. Now, what was the topic that I had? Hold on a second, guys. So that's the topic today, everybody. Blocking people for your peace. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions, especially if y'all are watching on the replay. My replay gang, they come through really strong for me. I appreciate y'all so much. And thank you so much, everybody, for the likes that you always give me. So let's get into it, everybody. Blocking people for your peace. Hayward, welcome. Hey, Dilbar, how are you doing? Welcome in, everybody. Thank you all for your support. So I gotta know what you all think. I can't wait to hear your thoughts and opinions. Turn that down a little bit so you guys can hear me a little better. But I just wanted to ask your thoughts and opinions on this topic today. We're talking about blocking people for your peace. So, I'll start with a story time. That's good, Dilbar. Glad to hear it. Thanks so much for supporting me. When I was about 14 years old, I used to always let other people go too far with me. I didn't know anything about standing up for myself. I didn't know about setting boundaries. I didn't know about making boundaries. I didn't know about that there's certain things that I shouldn't do. I didn't know anything about people I should be there for. Hey, East. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about being, having standards. I didn't know anything about you choose the way your light is shifted. You choose how your power is, because your power sometimes gets depleted because of who you're choosing to be around. Hey, Tanya, welcome. Hey, We the Plug, welcome. Okay, let's hear what Nancy has to say. I do block when things get out of hand. Having said that, I can only count on one hand the amount of people blocked on YouTube. There are only a few people in my real life I have blocked as well. Okay, Nancy. So she only has a few people. Yeah. And I don't mean just on social media, I mean in general. Sometimes you have to block people for your peace of mind. And I wanted to say that you got to block people for your peace of mind. And I don't know about you guys, but I definitely was a person. I was gullible. I was definitely a gullible person. And I would let people go too far. It's all good, Tanya. I appreciate it. Yes, the word. They drain you. All three: physical, mental, and spiritual. And I didn't know that it was a choice. I didn't know that I had a choice to move on, you know? And this is the elevation. This is your light in the midst of the darkness. I didn't know that I had a choice, that I didn't have to tell people stuff. I didn't know I could not be around people that were family. I didn't know all these things. And I know that it sounds like maybe something silly to some people, but I didn't know that I had a choice to who I could be around. I didn't know that I had a choice to let people go. I didn't know that I had a choice in anything. And with everything in life, we have options. Everything, you have a choice. You can choose to be around people. You can choose who you want to listen to. You can choose what you tell the people. There's so many choices that we can make, and it's about knowing that. It's about what we believe about ourselves. See, sometimes we got to work on the inside of us. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you. And thanks everybody for the likes. Yeah, the word. You have a choice. And that's the thing that I had no idea about. I had no idea that I had a choice in my life. I didn't know I had a choice. I thought, especially, your siblings, that's my siblings. And they're not going to stop being my siblings, so I have to keep taking it. But you don't have to take toxic behavior. And I'm telling you how I did it. When I finally came into knowing that I possess so much worth and power, I started to stop tell them my movements. See, I didn't understand that you don't have to tell people the moves that you make. You don't have to tell nobody nothing that you don't want to tell them. They would be like, "Oh, you haven't called me." I said, "Why? For you to pry into my business?" See, to elevate your life, you also have to believe in yourself. And you got to understand that not everybody is on your plane of elevation. Some people don't want your success in life. They don't want you to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't want you to succeed. They want your downfall. Hey, JW, how are you? Happy Wednesday. Good to see you. Yeah, and you don't have to take it. That's the thing, Nancy. I feel like that's the elevation that I wanted to come on and tell all of you gems, because there's a reason why I call you all gems, because you know, I don't take not one person for granted. I know when I came on this app for this channel and I didn't know anything about, what to do, the direction of this channel, I will always say every time I would get a new subscriber, I treasure each of my subscribers. And I may not be a big channel, but I know that I treat my all of you gems with respect, and you all always treat me with respect. And that's something that I treasure in a world of people who are disrespectful. I thank y'all for being respectful of each other, of yourself. See, this channel is mainly my vlog channel, but I also motivate because at the core, that's who I am. I'm still going to be Marlene Motivates. I'm still going to be Marlene Reviews. I'm still going to be Just Relax Now. I'm all my channels in one. And I try to elevate the thinking of everybody at all times because, like my mom always used to tell me, you take, your family, you take who you are wherever you go. And you can either choose to be silent and don't tell people about who you are because you're embarrassed or because it's a waste of your power because you know that they're not going to listen to you. But you always take who you are wherever you go. You take whoever you are wherever you go. Yes, Nancy. Yes, not everyone is rooting for you. They're not. They're not rooting for you. And I had no idea, y'all. I had no idea that people wanted your demise. I think because I was not a person I don't think that way. I don't move that way. I want people to succeed. I want people to be elevated. I want people to be happy. And I didn't understand that there were people who their motive is to see your downfall because they're miserable, you know? I had no idea. I was like, for real? People make moves like that? But there is. So you got to be cognizant of that. You got to be cognizant of that people want to see you fall. Marlene, I'm good. How are you? Happy Wednesday to you. I'm doing good, James. I'm doing good. And I'm so glad to hear that you are well. And I hope everybody else is in the chat too. Happy Wednesday to you. Shout out. Oh, word is at 1K. Hey, hey. Y'all put up some celebration emojis. And for those of you who are not connected to the word, give them some more to make sure that thing sticks. Because you know how this app goes. Congratulations, word in advance on your 1K and your full monetization. We got you, bro. Hey, chillin' with the realist Mary B. How are you? Good to see you. And happy Wednesday to you. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts and opinions. I definitely block people for my peace. Mary. Mary, Mary, Mary. Yes, yes, yes. I co-sign for all of that. And you have to. Like, I don't like to block people. I will just say that. I'm definitely not a person that likes to block people. I don't just block people for stupid reasons. You have to honestly do something like vindictive, evil. I don't just out and block people, on this app or any social media or in real life in general. You have to do something that shows that you're not sorry for what you did. You know what I mean? Who knows what I mean? Yes, congratulations, Lord. Yes, 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 and yes. Shout out to you, the word. Yes. Celebration emojis. We ready to party now. Let's go. Hey, Bill. How are you? Welcome. Happy Wednesday to you. Yes, congratulations. Yes. See, and that's what I'm talking about. I like to see people succeed. I like to see people succeed. That's at the core of me. That's who I am. I like to see people happy. I like to see people thriving because I believe you live off of that energy. When you pour into other people and you find a way to help other people, trust me, everybody needs somebody. At a certain period of time, every single person needs somebody. Everybody. No one is immune from needing somebody to help them. Every single person does. So that's what I'm saying. And I never understand that part where people are like being so nasty. And then this is what I got to say. Have you ever seen that the people who are the nastiest need the most help? Like coming from working in the medical field, coming from the medical field, I'm like, wow, how do you need so much help and you're so mean? How are you so evil and you're the one that needs help? I just don't understand that. Yes, JW, we definitely have to work on that. Liz is up next. Hey, Denise, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you. Yes, Mary. One thing I'm not going to do is keep bad energy folks in my life. Once I see that type of personality, I cut them loose. Yes, cut them loose. You don't need that in your life. And one thing I will say that I had to stop saying, like, doubting myself. When something is like on your spirit or in your heart, and like that person isn't moving the right way, you see that they're treating other people in a shady, shifty way, don't try to rationalize it. Don't say, well, is it me? Because that's the first thing that I do, because I want to make sure that I'm not jumping to conclusions, because I don't want to be that type of person. And then when I see it happen again and again, like, I'm like, no, nope. Once you see something, you need to believe it. Block people for your peace. Oh, yeah, Denise. Hey, good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yes, Mary. They need the most help. They be so mean. So mean. Like, and I don't understand, working in the healthcare field, you would see people, they can't walk. Some of them can't do anything for themselves, and they will be so nasty. And a part of me is, I feel like it's a protection mechanism, you know? Some people do it to try to seem like that's their way of coping with their situation, being mad and being angry. But, how does the saying go? You can get more, I don't know, how does it go? You can get more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. Y'all let me know if I'm saying that right. It's so much easier to just be nice. Yeah. Yep. You're right, Nancy. There's warning signs all around us about, the times we're living in. People are just something. They're a real piece of work. Hey, living my life at 60. How are you? Is this Betty? Nancy, listen, you have to put on a hard outer shell. And that, like when I'm on here on this app, y'all see the nice side of me. Y'all see the sweet side of me. But y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know. In my real life, day-to-day life, I have to be more aggressive, because people will people will run all over you. And I know somebody needs to hear this. Don't be a doormat to other people. And most of the time, it be the ones that you're helping the most, your family, other people, especially on the job. They take you for granted because you don't speak up for yourself. So whoever needs to hear it, speak up for yourself. Don't let people run all over you. And you don't have to be a yes person and say yes. Just because somebody asks you something, don't mean you have to accept it. Don't mean you have to take it. I always say, challenge the norm. If it's something that you're lack understanding about it, ask questions. Get to the bottom of it. Oh, flies with honey. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Nancy, and everybody in the chat. Thank you so much, Tanya. Appreciate you. Yes, thank you, James. Oh, okay. Well, welcome, Echo or Echo. depending on where you come from. Yep. Yep. Yes. Yes. Too much energy. Too much. And I used to have people, and like, I would be drained all the time. And I mean, in every aspect of my life. Um, I would have people because they would ask me to help them out financially. I would give until I had nothing for myself. I would give mentally, like when people would come and they'll mind dump on you. So they're taking from you in that, like physically, like running around and doing things for people. So you got to take your power back. You got to take your control. And just because the phone rings doesn't mean you have to answer. Just because somebody invites you to do something, you don't have to do it. Just because they ask you to work more hours, you don't have to do it. See, there's so much power in no. There's so much power in no, and you have to get people used to no. And it's a no with no explanation. Okay. Coming from Roxanne. What about when someone asks you to go in somewhere and they forget, go by themselves? Let me read that again. What about when someone asks you to go in somewhere and they forget, go by themselves? I may be misunderstanding you, Roxanne. Can you rephrase that statement? Because I'm not understanding it. Hey, Anthony, how are you? Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Good to see you. Hope you're well and your family. How's your wonderful wife? Yeah, thumbs up. Thank y'all so much for the thumbs up. Appreciate each of you. So that's one thing that I had to do for my peace of mind. Denise says, I need to work on saying no. Yeah. And you have to. That's it's something like, okay, I look at it this way. I look at saying no this way, like, think of all of the things that you have to do. Like, I don't at least 3 or 4 things accomplished in your life, don't do it. Don't do anything until you get your own stuff accomplished. Get your own stuff accomplished before you try to help other people. I'm doing great, Anthony. Hey, Miss V. Welcome. Good to see you. My neighbor asked me to go to the movies with them, but she went by herself. Oh, well, maybe her plans changed, or it could be any reason. Just ask some questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And I'm a person too. And when somebody does something and it offends you, tell them. Like, I thought we were going to do this, and then I see you went by yourself. Uh, what's going on? I thought we were going to do something together. That hurt my feelings. We got to learn to speak up for ourselves. Yeah, shout out to all in the chat. I hear you now, but wondering was I know, and it happens to me all the time, Miss V. I'll have my audio on and then it goes out completely. So I don't know why it does that. No idea. Yeah, communication is the key. That's the key. And a lot of times people will think that they know situation, myself included. It happens to me all the time. I think that I know the situation and you may not know everything. Like an example of what Denise was saying, I mean Roxanne was saying, sometimes things will come up at the last minute and then you have to drop the plans and go with a plan B. So, sometimes you got to back out of things, but also communication goes on both sides. You also have to, if plans change, you got to be an adult and say, I know I said we were going to go to the movies, but this came up. So we're going to have to do this on another day or so and so. So communicate. And it's very important for the people that you care about. If you really don't care about people, then, if you really don't care about other people, then, it's like irrelevant. It doesn't matter. But people that you really care about, people that you actually love, you can't treat them that way. Yeah, Denise, is something that I think I learned about speaking up once my father passed away, and then even more so because I lost my mom, and my dad died in October, and then my mom died in May, like within 7 months of each other. So I had to learn to speak up because being the youngest in the family, like how our family dynamic was, it was like my mom and my dad used to always be the mouthpiece for me and to speak up for me. So I never had to because they always were speaking up for me. So I had to learn that, they're not here anymore and you got to do this for yourself, Marlene. And I'm so glad that I learned that. It's all good word. So don't be too hard on yourself, Denise. Just take it little things at a time. Write down some small goals. That's what helped me. When you see something that you don't like, don't let things go, because that's what I used to do. Like, you would see something and you don't like it, and then you just let it go. Like, oh, you like, oh, whatever. But it's something that really bothers you. So when something happens to me, immediately when I don't like it, you have to say it right then and there. Don't wait. Don't wait. And I think that helps a lot, because once you start stacking you start having so many things that has happened that you can't even go through the list. Too many things start piling up. So immediately when something happens and it's something that you need to speak on, you need to speak on it right away. Yeah, I understand that about you don't like disappointing your loved ones, but also you got to think about yourself too. And remember that you're your first friend. That's one thing that I learned in therapy that I didn't understand before. You can't give to other people when you're empty inside. If you keep giving to everybody and loving and loving everybody, it's like, what do you have left? What I used to always do, I would give until I was at zero. And therapy taught me to give out of my abundance. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. When I do good things for myself. Like, one of the things that I love to do is, after I exercise, go for a walk, do something that I enjoy, give myself a good facial or get my hair done or do my nails. After I poured some love into myself, I feel so good that my cup is not only filled, it's overflowing. And my therapist taught me that's how you should always show up to everybody. And anytime if you feel like your cup is depleted, like you're getting low, you need to hurry up and do something for yourself and your self care. Even if it's like, for me, it's reading, gaining some more knowledge, being by myself, meditating, being around some good mentors or friends, enjoying a trip. It's about what it is that replenishes you. So once I started to do that, I learned to start giving in my abundance. not giving what is inside of my cup. And I feel like that's a valuable lesson that most people don't get. It's something that it took me almost, I would say, gosh, 5 years before I got that concept. Like, don't give from you, from what the little that you have. Give when you're full. And that means that if my cup isn't full, I can't give to you and be completely without, because you got to eat too. You got to take care of yourself. Because there was a lot of times I would do things financially, and then I would be the one, I'm helping you with your light bill, and then mine get cut off. So you got to get balanced with certain things and set up some boundaries. I'm not going to do certain things if I'm in need. You got to take care of home first, if that makes sense. Oh, don't be sorry, Denise. Um, how I look at, for me, where I am now with my life, with all the people that have moved on, I felt like they came to teach me lessons. And anytime I miss them, I sit and meditate on something that they taught me, something that encouraged me, a special memory. And that always fills up my cup and makes me smile. You know, another awesome thing that my therapist taught me is about, you know, your the transfer of energy. So if it is how you're choosing to look at a situation. If you tell yourself that you're sad, you're going to be sad. But if you choose to have an elevated perspective, I choose to look at it that they came to teach me something, that we had great memories, that they were wonderful to me and they loved me. And that fills up my cup, because a lot of people don't get that. I can say with that I had two loving parents. You know, they weren't perfect. No, no, no. I didn't have perfect parents, but I had two parents that loved me. And I think that that speaks volumes. Hey, Monique. How are you? Good to see you. Yes, yes. Okay, let me see. I just saw a comment. Okay. Why do some people say they are your friend, let you down again and again? Let me see if I can address that. I feel that that's a part of lack of communication, because everybody looks at things a different way. And it's about communicating your needs in the friendship. Have you communicated with this person? When you do this, this is how it makes me feel. My goodness, I learned so many tools for my entire life in therapy, worth every single dime. And I paid a lot of dimes. It gave me tools to empower myself. And when I say communication, I mean, don't assume. And a lot of times we make assumptions. We think that other people know how we're making them feel. And people can't know how you feel unless you tell them. People can't know how you feel unless you tell them. And you got to tell people how you feel. You got to tell people when they disappoint you. You have to tell people when they hurt your feelings. You have to tell people when they let you down. You got to communicate that. Life, living my life at 60. You have to communicate that. And the more that you become a better communicator, is the more that you're going to draw the right people. And also within that too, if you say that they let you down again and again, after you communicate with them what they've done and they continue to do it, now it's about what you're allowing. So sometimes we allow things for far too long, and it may be time to put you and them, some distance in between you and them. Hey, Sharonda, how are you? Welcome. Happy Wednesday to you. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, take care of home first. And that's what I wasn't doing. I was definitely not taking care of myself. I would let everything go. And, I'm not a mother by birth, but I'm a mother by love. From the time I was 14 years old, I've been raising my sister's kids and assisting not just my sister kid, a best friend, other people. I've always been a person to assist other people to raise their children. So even though I'm not a mother by birth, but I'm a mother by love. That's what I always say. One thing I know how to do is I know how to nurture the minds of youth, elevate them and encourage them. I know that that's my role in life. I'm definitely an encourager. You're trying to figure that out? See, and also we have to also say we throw the term out there loosely, friend. When a friend, there's certain things that a friend isn't going to do. So we have to ask ourselves, is that person even a friend? And that's hard to accept sometimes because we don't want to believe that somebody isn't our friend. But hmm, but it may be that we don't want to accept that they're not our friend. Hmm. There has to be a pruning in order to grow, just like plants. Yeah, you got to get the weeds out. And that's what I had to do, you know. That's what I had to do. I had to do some weeding. It's some people that, even though they are related to you by blood or they've been friends with you for a long time, time is not a reflection of how you should be treated just because you know of somebody. It's like, and just because you know somebody, it doesn't mean that that's who you deserve. See, sometimes we allow people to stay in our life longer than they should, so that we're stopping and blocking the people who actually need to be in our life. You know, we allow these people to be in our life for what? Why? And we have to ask ourselves that. Why do I allow people to treat me this way? I I spent about a year on that one in therapy. Ooh, I'm a great friend, and it seems sometimes like I pick friends that will let me down repeatedly. Yeah, and you got to ask yourself the question why. I can answer the reason why I allowed it is because I didn't love myself. See, I was always looking for other people um to say who I was instead of me defining who I was for myself and by myself. And that's a deep, it's a deep thought. It's a deep lesson, a hard lesson to accept that I was basing my worthiness on who was friends with me, how other people treated me, if people liked me. So my thing was if they don't like me or they don't treat me right, that means something is not right with me. So I must not be okay. And I had to stop taking it personally. Don't take it personal that they're not treating you right. You got to find out why you're accepting it and you got to get to the bottom of it. And I had to do a lot of inside work. And that's what my therapist definitely helped me with that part. Some people are manipulators and others just genuinely don't know how to be a good friend. It could be. It's some factors in that too. It is some factors in that, but at the end of the day, it's about what you accept. Okay. I hope the volume is back again. I hope the volume is back and you guys could hear me. Okay. My advice is to download the Meetup app and to meet new friends. You can find groups in your age range. I have groups I go with. I love it. I hope you guys can hear me. I didn't know the audio went out. I was too busy talking. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why the audio goes out so often. No idea. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate it. I was asking these questions for a friend of mine. Thank you for some wonderful advice. Appreciate your support. You hear me? Thank you so much, Anthony. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to encourage everybody. I want to encourage everybody because it's not easy. You know, life is tough and some people are so draining. Hey, Urban, how are you? Happy Wednesday. Some people are so draining, and I don't know about you all, but you know, I have Caribbean family, and I feel like Caribbean family is different from other people. Um, I wouldn't say Caribbean people. I would just say when you have family that are immigrants, that's a whole different vibe because you know they can't help that they're immigrants, so they pull at your heartstrings because they're in desperate need. But at the same time, you can't let them take everything that you have. They want to take everything you have. So for me, I had to definitely set up some boundaries with my family. Like, I can do this and that and nothing more. The rest of you are going to have to do it for yourself. I don't know if anybody else in the chat or the replay, if you have immigrant family members and you understand what I'm talking about. But when you have people who are always in need, hey, Wellness, how are you? When you have people who are always in need, when you have people who are always in need, it's like they never stop. They're always asking you for something. Like if you give them 50, then they want next time they want 500, and it's just always more and more and more. So anybody, and it doesn't have to be just those who have immigrant family members, but just draining family members that always they always make you feel like you have to bail them out of situations. I'm speaking to you guys. I'm speaking to myself as well. You know, when it comes to finances, that can be a very sensitive topic, you know, to talk about with other people. And I'm never going to tell anybody how to feel. Hey, love baby, how are you? Happy Wednesday. I'm never going to tell anybody how to feel. You know, that's not my right. I'm just sharing my experiences, how I feel, what I'm going through. For me, I found that the best thing to do is do things when you can, do things out of the right motive. Don't do things if you really don't want to do it, because then you're going to be bitter and nasty and judgmental of certain situations. So if you really can't do it, then don't do things. Um, and that's in friendships too. If you really don't want to do something, I guess it applies to the job too. If you really don't want to do something, then don't do it. Because I found for so long I was always doing things just because everybody in the collective group was doing it, because everybody else wanted to. And nobody wanted to say, I just don't like it, or I just don't want to do this. So I know it's for somebody. Somebody needs to hear that. You don't have to say yes to everything. And, sometimes people would be angry and upset with you. Sometimes because they can't use you. Sometimes because you're not telling them information, because some people just want to know your business. Sometimes people will stay away from you because you're staying away from them. Once you're not going around telling them your business, or also once you stop being toxic. I found that when I stopped saying, I don't want to talk about people anymore. Um, I don't want to backstab people. I don't want to make fun of people. I want to say things that encourages other people. When you stop being around and you stop choosing to be like that, I think I started drawing different people to me, because once you stop talking about other people, I feel like you can start focusing on yourself and what you want to do, and in your light, and encouraging yourself and going after your own goals. For so long, I was spending so much time looking at what other people were doing instead of getting into it and doing things for myself, doing things that make me happy. So I think that's what it was. At the end of the day, I feel like that's the most important thing, is getting into doing things that you like and you enjoy. And you get off track sometimes, I believe, because of life, you know. I think you get off track sometimes because of life. People just do and say some nasty things to you, and you kind of get tired of the constant everybody beating you up. I feel like that happened to me for a little while. I felt like life was just beating me up. Like I felt like I got handed all the wrong cards, but also I was feeling sorry for myself, and I wasn't doing anything. I just was just saying, "Oh, my life is terrible," but I wasn't doing anything in my life to change it. I was hanging around with people who weren't doing anything about their life. So it's about what you're doing and the people that you're associating with and what you're choosing to think about. All of that, it speaks volumes, and it shows what kind of life that you're going to have. I had no idea that you made a choice about how your life is going to be. I had no idea that that was even a possible thought. I thought your life was just whatever you're given. Like, these are your set of circumstances and you have to deal with it. But anything that you don't like about your life, you can change it. And when I found that out, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Hey, DJ Ron, how are you? Happy Wednesday. All is well here. Lovey. Hi, Lovey. How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. I found for myself that when I started to get into being me, and I understand Marlene's a little different from other people. I've always been different my whole life. I've never been like other kids in my school. I was definitely, I guess you could say, the weird kid in school. I was the one, I've always been a loner. I've always been a person, I like to be by myself. And I didn't mind being different. I was definitely the kid who wore like different type of clothes. Like, I used to cut my clothes up and write things in permanent marker and puffy paint. Who knows about that? Shout out to people. That's how it was in the 80s. You wrote stuff in puffy paint and tie-dyed your clothes and cut it up. And I've just always been a different person, um, to walk to the beat of my own drum. But don't get me wrong. Yeah, it was very lonely, and kids are mean, and they say things that's unkind. But I had to learn to be okay with myself. I spent many, many years by myself, or trying to be around other people and trying to change, because trying to be like the crowd and dressing like other people because that's how they dressed, just to make friends. And I was like, I think around maybe 19 years old, I was like, this is whack. I'm going back to my own self. So I never stayed in that for too long. I've always been a person to be different. Yeah, most of us can be happy and go to the top if we really want to. Oh, you're listening at work. Thank you. I hope your work day is going good. Hey, your bro knows about those activities. The shirts cut up. Yeah, remember that? That's way before. What did they used to call them? How they're cutting up the jeans and distressing them. We were doing that way, way back in the day. I remember we used to, what is it called? Acid washed, like the reverse washing of jeans. Yeah, those, to me, I felt like those were the good old days. That can never be duplicated. Never. The time where people were just different. Like people had different hair and they did their own vibe, and people were about their business, not really involved in getting into other people's business. They were just in the zone of their own life. And people were more involved in taking care of their family and spending time with their family. And I get it that life can be, different. A life can be challenging, especially facing what we just went through in the pandemic. Everybody, I think everybody went through and endured some type of change, whether losing somebody they loved, losing money, having to start a new business. Maybe some people got some health problems from having the 19. So a lot of things happen. So that challenge, when it happens in your life, what do you do with the challenges that when they face you? I just finished talking about that on my other channel, but I'll continue it over here. Um, what do you do with the challenges when you face them? And my thing is, before I got the tools that I have now, anytime I face a challenge, my go-to was just to give up. And with therapy, I learned that giving up is not an option. And anytime oh, have a good afternoon, Nancy. Thank you so much for supporting me. I didn't understand that giving up was not an option. That's the first thing that I used to do all the time was give up. Always give up. Oh, this hurt my feelings, or this person did this, or this person did that. It's all about what kind of energy that you put into your life. If it's something you don't like, then change it. If it's people you don't like, then change it. If it's your attitude you don't like, change it. I think everything is about change. And most people don't want to make changes. I get that. But I kind of get tired of the ones that don't do anything about it. They always just talk about what they're going to do. And I know I've done it too. Always say I'm going to do this and do that. So I'm learning too to not say what I'm going to do. Just do. Just do and just be. My dad used to always say, be about your business. Be it. Don't just say your business. Don't tell your business. Just be it. Let people see by the actions what you're about. And I think that that's the problem with most people. They keep talking about change. They keep talking about they're going to do this or that. They talk about their dissatisfaction with job, or dissatisfaction with who they're in a relationship with, their dissatisfaction with their children's behavior. They do nothing about it. You know, if you're not going to do anything about what you don't like, well, why keep talking about it? I find it to be very exasperating. I was a trendsetter growing up. I was really different from others with their style. I noticed then the other kids started doing the same thing on the slip. Yeah. Me too, DJ Ron. I was definitely I should probably post some pictures. I have my own style. Um, Before they started doing the one shoulder dresses, I used to do the one shoulder shirts. Like I would have my t-shirt and I would just cut out the top of the shirt and just have one of my shoulders out. And then I would take my suspenders and have one down and one up and cut out the leg and put a whole bunch of what are those pins on that used to be all different colors. And I would write things in permanent black marker or puffy paint or something, or take different patches and put on my clothes, wear two different shoes, two different socks, two different sandals. Always been different. Yes. Lovey in the building. How you doing, Lovey? That's what I'm saying. And a lot of people don't know how to be different. They don't know what it is to be different. They don't know nothing about that. And I'm like, you would be so much happier if you would just be yourself. People don't know nothing about that. Absolutely nothing. I'm not telling my age, DJ Ron. You don't have to tell yours either. We're going to keep that a secret. We're going to keep that on the hush hush. But I'm proud of, being a trendsetter, being who I was. I feel like the fashion and the styles have all changed from how it used to be. And I think people got to get back to that. I'm definitely not a person that believes in dressing like other people, or what they would say, like a label person. If that's what you like, then that's what you like. But I've never been a person who cared. I never have cared about labels, you know. Yeah, I do have certain labels because I like it, but I don't like those labels because I see other people wearing it. I see things and I'm like, "Oh, I like that one thing I will spend money on is purses. I do like my purses. That tend to be what you would call high-end purses. But other than that, the rest of the stuff, mm, I dress different and simple. I definitely am a modest dresser. The sound dropped again. Let me go out and you don't hear the sound? Let me know. I don't know why the sound keeps dropping. I got to get to the bottom of that. I got to get myself a computer. Your girl is in need of a computer. Anybody want to buy your girl a new laptop, a new phone? Hit the cash app. Your girl is in need because I can't do this. But I'm not a person who's gonna want to front like, oh, I got a new phone, I got a new computer, and put it on a credit card. I'm not doing that. Sound is back. Awesome. See, I'm not one of those. I know it's a lot of people on this app that will do it. When I don't have the money, I'm not going to be doing something and putting it on a credit card just for views. That's not me. And if I take a trip, it's because it's a trip I can afford. And that's just Marlene. I'm just myself. I'm so grateful that I had parents that taught me that, be yourself. And that's why I always say that on my channel. And I think I started saying that on my channel after my dad passed away because he used to always tell me that. He used to always feed that into me. Be yourself. Don't try to be like anybody else. You're going to be miserable. You will be very unhappy. So the more that I am my weird, what do you call it? Eccentric person that I am, I'm happy with it. I'm okay with that. And I get it. A lot of people ain't going to like me. A lot of people won't like you. People don't like things that are different. People want you to look like everybody else and act like everybody else. But for me, I can't be happy being being a sheep. Marlene's always going to be herself and do something different. If everybody is saying go to the left, Marlene going to the right. Even if it's lonely over there, I'll find a way to make it happen. I just can't do it. I can't do the what do you call it? I can't do the what do you call it? The crowd following, like how everybody does on IG and all of these other apps, doing this and trending stuff. I'm just myself. And that's why I like oh, the weather may be affecting the connection. Y'all may have had some bad weather on the way. We got it this morning. Well, I had it last night. We had some really bad weather. That's why I didn't really get good sleep last night. We had a storm here from, I would say, about 2 a.m. until like about 7 a.m. So I don't think I went to bed until like 7:30 this morning. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why. I don't know. But maybe it's still affecting it. Maybe more of the storm is to come. I don't know. So I hope it doesn't cut out again. But back to what I was saying about, being yourself. I think it's important for more women and men to be themselves. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. A lot of people don't know how to be themselves, be authentic. They don't know how to step outside of the box and try something new. They don't know how to challenge the norms of society. They don't know how to start a business. They don't know how to be a businessman or a businesswoman because that's not meant to be for everybody. I get it. Everybody's different and want different things, but you shouldn't let other people stop you from being yourself. Don't let nobody stop you from being yourself. And for so long, I used to allow other people to stop me from being myself because that's what I believed. I used to always believe that I couldn't do things. I limited myself. And it's something that I'm going to talk about on my podcast channel. But I was stopping myself. It wasn't other people telling me that I couldn't do it. It was my negative self-talk. I used to always tell myself that I couldn't do things because I was comparing myself to the successes of my siblings and my parents. And I had very intelligent parents and siblings. So I had a very high standard, you know. I had a very high standard of what to look at and what to, try to go after. But my thing is that I never wanted to do what they did. I've never been a person who cared about certain stuff. I've always been I went like they define that as being an artist. I've always been a writer. I have books where I've written books, made up stories and poems from like I was 5 years old. So I've always been a writer, a lyricist, a singer. Always. I've been singing probably since I was 5 years old. But that's, like if that's not nourished on the inside of you from a child, it was always, you were always taught that you had to have a job, in quotes, a job, and not to have your own business. So I had to personally get out of that. For me, that's when I started to get my joy back. It's not for me to go to a job. That's not for me. I'm not saying for it. If that's right for somebody else, then go get your bag and do it. But I was so miserable doing it when I had to make a decision to shift out of that. And I'm so much happier now. I'm so much happier just doing my thing. And at the end of the day, I feel like that's what everybody else needs to do too. Whatever is right for you, do what's right for you, and stop listening to other people telling you what to do. And the people who are telling you what to do, they don't have no money. They're not doing anything. They're not going to pay your bills. They're not doing nothing for you. All they're going to do is keep being negative, keep stabbing you in the back, keep trying to hurt your feelings. But, it's about what we allow. And I know for myself, I allowed negativity for far too long. I didn't speak up for myself. I didn't challenge the norms of society and find out why things were the way that they said it should be. I had to I had to find out for myself what I wanted, and I had to make a decision to go after it and do it. And I never used to think that I could do things. I don't know about everybody else. I don't know your situation and how you were raised, but for the most part in the Black community, we really don't get supported to be encouraged to dream big and to do big things, because most of the time most of us do not have the financial means to support that. But as you get older, now you have to make a choice. What do you want for yourself? Or are you happy? And I feel like the perpetual hope of existing in a state of joy is something that, you're not always going to feel joyful. Things are going to happen to you. People are going to get on your nerves, but for the most part, you should be happy by yourself. You should be happy existing by yourself. And if you're with somebody and you're both on the same plane of enlightenment and they're adding to your joy, that makes it even better. It makes it even better when you have people. But what makes life difficult is when you have people who are draining you, taking from you, backstabbing you, telling you your ideas aren't good enough, being rude to you, disappointing you, not supporting any of your dreams. Don't let other people have that kind of power over you. Um, that's something that I had to do. I had to learn to take my power back. And I encourage you all to take your power back. And if you're unhappy with your life right now, you can change it. Um, that's something that I did. I had to do during the pandemic. I had to reinvent myself because there was nothing that I could do. Sometimes when you're down, you have nothing else to do but to look up. Hey James, welcome. Thanks for hitting the like, and thanks everybody for the likes in the chat. I had no other choice but to make changes and to make my own business and to be joyful, because I think at a certain period of time, you got to make a decision for yourself to be happy. Nobody can make you happy. You can be with people that add to your happiness, but at the end of the day, you got to be happy for yourself. You got to be happy by yourself. And I know I, for myself, when I started getting into what I want, what I like, I stopped, like my peace came back, because at the end of everything, it's about what you like, what is making you happy. Are you being respected? Are you taking time for yourself? Are you going after your dreams? You know, It's not about, what you have financially. It's about what you're choosing to do with the money that you have. And are you wasting your money? Those are important lessons for me. Everybody is different. And I think when I started to focus on all aspects of my life, not just, you know, the people in my life, but me, what am I doing in order to have the life that I have now? Am I respecting myself? Am I doing things that's good for me? Those are very important questions. And a lot of times we blame other people because we don't have certain things. But at the end of the day, what are you doing in order to get those things? Are you making hard decisions? Are you planning for your success? And if something is not successful, why isn't it successful? A lot of times we don't challenge ourselves, like why we don't have the things that we have, and we don't want to face it because we don't like the answer. Because sometimes the issue is us. Sometimes the issue is us. Why we don't have what we want. It's us. It's our fault. We're procrastinating. We're allowing certain things. We're not getting up and going after things. We're not being consistent. So you also, for your peace of mind, you got to be accountable to yourself too. You got to be accountable to you at the end of the day and be happy with yourself. No, nobody can do anything and make your life better but you. It's an inside job, like I say all the time. It's about working on your inside. And if you really want to change something, if you really want to fix something about your life, you will do it. I used to always blame everybody, but at the end of the day, it's about what you're willing to do in order to have the life that you have. And I had to I had to make a decision for myself to say I want better for me. I want to have a better life. I deserve to have peace in my life, you know? I deserve to have peace. I deserve to be joyful. I deserve to not keep allowing people to disrespect me. I was so miserable for a long time because I was allowing people to be negative. I was allowing that. And when you keep letting people do stuff and you don't say anything about it, that means you're allowing it. And sometimes we take silence like it's okay. Just because you don't talk about something doesn't make it go away. So, yeah. So, on that note, I'm going to end this topic today. You know, I just wanted to tell y'all block people for your peace. Your peace is one of the most valuable commodities that you have. Your peace is one of the most valuable commodities that you have. If you don't have peace, you don't have anything. You can't do anything when there is confusion and frustration. And sometimes it's because of what you allow. Not all the time, but a lot of times it's because you're allowing certain people to do certain things in your life and you're not speaking up for your peace of mind. So do that. Speak up, speak out, block people, respect yourself, set boundaries. All of that is important. So block them. And who cares if they're mad? Who cares if other people are mad? At the end of the day, keep respecting yourself. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. I'm going to get up and uh, get out of here. I hope something in here that I said was encouraging to y'all. I hope I said something that gave somebody some peace, some enlightenment. Um, and then I hope you do something with it, because just having knowledge is nothing until you apply it. Apply it to your life and make your life better. No, thank you, the word. Appreciate it. And in another hour, I'm going to go live on my Marlene Motivates channel and do a member love channel member show to shout out my channel members. So y'all come over there in an hour. I would appreciate it. And thank you, everybody here on Life with Marlene, for being a treasured gem. I appreciate y'all rocking with me from week to week. We're almost at 2,000 watch hours. I already got my subs up. I don't need subscribers. And I have to also say thank you to all the new subscribers. I'm almost at 1,200 subscribers. I think that's awesome. I think I only need like 7 or 8 more, and I'll be at 1,200. So that's exciting. I've grown about 200 subscribers since I turned over to being a vlog channel, which is amazing. So thank all the new 200 people. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for watching it. And thank y'all for coming to the lives every Wednesday. And I hope to see you all on the next video or live stream. And I forgot to say, my new vlog schedule over here now is Sundays and Tuesdays, uploads at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesdays for the Chit Chat lives at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you guys on the next one, and be good to yourself. Love yourself and be who you deserve to be, a worthy individual, a worthy human being. Keep being a gem. Bye, guys.